Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another tour video for my save file, the Disney save. Happy New Year everybody! I'm really excited to be sharing today's tour video with you guys. This is my 6th world for my Sims 4 save file called the Disney save. It is a completely Disney themed from top to bottom save file that I've been working on for a while now, and I'm finally getting around to touring my newest completed world. It is Sulani. This world is themed after The Little Mermaid, Lilo and Stitch, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Peter Pan. I'm really excited to showcase this today for you guys and kind of show you a little bit of what we've got going on here for some of the builds and the households. I just want to mention that this version of the Disney save is not currently available. It is in early access on my Patreon, which is in my description box down below if you're interested in getting it a little bit early. If you're not interested in Patreon, every single thing that I have for the Disney save currently, including previous worlds, is on the gallery for download already, so you can get everything that way, the families and the households. The only thing that you're kind of going to be missing is like the clubs, the connections, the gameplay, the things that I've sort of implemented into the save file. But other than that, you can have it already. So today we're going to be touring just Sulani here, but I have done a few other worlds, including Willow Creek, Evergreen Harbor, Forgotten Hollow, Mount Komorebi, and Hemford on Bagley, all Disney themed. So if you haven't seen those already, highly recommend you check out the playlist down below called Disney Save World Tours for the other ones, as well as of course my entire playlist with all of my speed builds and my creative sims and all of the goodies for the Disney save. We'll be touring this world today. I actually have another world that I have completed recently that's a little bit smaller that'll be coming out in a tour video style very soon after this one. And then I recently, like I just mentioned, released a new version of the Disney save called the Disney Save 2.0. It is in pre-release for my patrons right now, but I do plan to release it fully for the public very soon, and I will be making one big giant tour video showcasing literally everything in the Disney save. It'll be a very long video, and I'm excited to put that out. So the next couple of videos will be like mostly tours, and then I have my new Disney save world that I will be starting shortly after that. So without further ado, let's get into today's tour video of Sulani. Now, I don't typically visit every single lot for these videos, but I am going to definitely be checking out some of my favorites. We will start over in this neighborhood here, as I kind of, well, I guess we'll start with this one over here because I don't even think I mentioned this, to be fair. Moana is in this world with her cute little family. I'm going to try to go into live mode for pretty much all of this so we can check out the builds and things. Now, I just want to mention right off the bat that you could probably hear it in the background, but my fan for my computer is on right now. I usually record with it very low, but when I'm actually in game, I don't want to have my fans off for obvious reasons. So if you do hear a little bit of buzzing in the background, I super apologize, but that is why. This is Moana's house. She lives here with her family, Pua. She's got her little chicken coop here, and there is a rooster running around that I've put a little rainbow sweater on and named Hey. And one thing that's cool about the Disney save, so I have two clubs that I implement into the save file. One is like clubs that are important to characters, so maybe like the Lost Boys have their own club and it's called the Lost Boys. But another thing I like to do is called movie clubs, so that you as the player, if you're looking to get all characters for a given movie in one location very quickly and they don't live together, you can start a group gathering to have those characters come together. So of course Moana is the leader of her Moana club. I like to do some like allowed club activities and unallowed club activities that are based after like the movie and things like that. Now, I don't have a ton of Moana characters in the save, but you can see here that we do have Maui. He is a townie running around, and I have Tafiti. She is a really fun plant sim. I'll show some of those off later as well. In the like household manager, I'll show you some of the extra bonus sims that we have running around for Sulani. There are as many as other worlds, but there definitely are some. And we have their home here. It's supposed to be obviously a little bit, it's like kind of nice, right? Because she is considered royalty. She's the chief's daughter and everything, but it is more like community style, more village inspired, maybe a little bit more traditional Sulani type of vibe. Originally, this was supposed to be kind of like the village, like right up against the water. You've got the boats here and everything, but they don't have a ton of main characters that you can feature to be showing off like the different characters from the movie. So the village mostly consists of her family. But yeah, her house is really, really cute here. Got some of these kava bowls in here. Her room is actually back here, and I gave her her own bathroom because I'm nice like that, and I just felt like as a teen maybe she might want something like that. What else do we have here? We have the seashells. We have this, which I thought was a really cute shout out to the movie. If you know, you know. I try to hide things like that in the builds as much as I possibly can. And this wasn't a super huge lot to work with here, but I did think it was appropriate to have her house on the island ultimately, like very secluded by itself. But we will go ahead and move on to a different one. This is pretty much all we have for Moana. The only thing that's like hard about featuring Moana in the save is there wasn't a ton of locations to base it off of. So that's it for Moana. I did want to show you guys the household manager so you can see, like, we've got some other townies and things running around here. It's not just the main households. There is Captain Hook and his crew, which we will be going to visit in a little while here. Peter Pan and Pirates still loading. Myrtle and friends are townies from Lilo and Stitch. Gantu and David and Cobra Bubbles are all townies. We have Flounder for the Little Mermaid. And then I also have on my gallery bonus sims is what I call them. The sims only let you put in so many sims. It really recommends that you don't do more than 200. I've obviously already hit that in my save file, but I have other sims that I feel like people might want for different reasons, but maybe I didn't want to put it in the save file because it would take up a slot and they weren't like a super important character. Maybe they're from a future film or like a TV show or something. So there's other characters available on my gallery. We have Angel, Reuben, Grand Councilwoman, Mrs. Hasegawa from Lilo and Stitch, the Ice Cream Guy. Those are all bonus sims that are not available in the save file. You can download them and add them in. I have Melody from The Little Mermaid 2. We have Queen Athena from Little Mermaid 3. So there are a couple of options if you'd like some more characters and things to play with. Throw them all in there if you would like to. Now we'll go and visit some of my favorite movie personally, The Little Mermaid. This is King Triton's castle. Really one of my biggest builds and my biggest households for this world. I'll jump into build mode really quickly to show it off. I just wanted to take a moment to really show this off in build mode real quick. I will jump into live mode because I'm really obsessed with this household and all the colors and the mermaids. This is where King Triton, Sebastian, and all of Ariel's sisters live. So they have a very massive... I really thought about this household because I do a lot of castles for the Disney save and it's like a struggle at this point to make them feel different from one another, but this one is so unique in its shape and its general idea. Like, it's supposed to be underwater, so I wanted this to have some really special things about it. It's built less with stairs and more with ladders because the idea is everybody's a mermaid and they would sort of like swim in and out of the various levels. This is King Triton's room. He gets like one of the bigger bedrooms, the central sort of tower in the middle of the castle here. He's also right above the little party area. This is like a social area, you know, have guests over. You've got the bar down to the throne room, which is King Triton's. Obviously, this is his throne. Not functional, and I don't do that very often with the Disney save. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm usually very big about, like, everything has to work, but because of, like, how this is supposed to look per the movie, it's not functional, but I like it. It was too cool of an opportunity to, like, not do it the way it's intended. We've got the living room. Oh, excuse me, the dining room here with the really cool table that's kind of all funky and pushed together. I'll show you this in live mode too because it's really cool when it's live. I did a lot of work in here trying to get colors really themed to make everything feel like it's underwater. Try to use bubble machines to have those like bubbles coming up out of the ground underneath the furniture and things to give the appeal and the idea of it being underwater without actually being able to put this lot literally underwater because we're building in Sulani on a water lot, which the game doesn't allow you to do like any kind of ponds or anything like that. So King Triton's castle, we'll just jump into live mode for it as well. We definitely need to do that. So what I've done for a lot of the save file characters, they pretty much all have jobs, but because I try to keep it as close to the movie as possible, so if there is a job in game that makes sense and they can actually have that job and it doesn't like hinder their characters at all, then that works out. But if they are like royalty where they kind of don't really have jobs and they make money and they have money anyway, then I will do custom careers like this and put them in place. And pretty much the whole household has this royalty career as well as other household. What is she wearing? I promise I did not put her in that. As well as like any royals that are across the Disney save, they pretty much all have this career. This is to stop them from getting like spawning as bartenders and waitresses and things like that when you're out and about in the worlds. And that's kind of the idea behind it. But you can pick whatever you want, as well as skills and things. I do put friendships, relationships, skills that are appropriate for the character in as much as I feel is appropriate. And you can always add whatever you would like or take away whatever you would like, and maybe put them in a career that you feel like would be fun for that character. You don't have to like keep anything, obviously. So it's really like meant to be a sandbox. It's supposed to be the thing that I created, but like you can do whatever you want. If you want to tell the stories, if you want it to be completely wild, if you want all the characters to mix and like know one another and have it be this big Disney crazy world, you can do that. So again, this household is mainly just King Triton. Sebastian is kicking around here somewhere. He got humanized / mermanized for the save file. And then Ariel and Ariel's sisters. Ariel lives in her own household. And the ladies have, in the back here, these are their bedrooms. And you can see here what I mentioned earlier with like the bubbles and the colors and things. I tried to hide a lot of those in the rooms. And just generally, like, I thought a lot about this place. There's no bookshelves in this entire build, and you might need it for gameplay, so you could throw one in here and there or like go somewhere if you want to. But I tried to think about like, what would mermaids actually have? Like, they're not going to have books. They're not going to have anything super modern. So a lot of the decor is plants, mirrors, little statues, and maybe some things that they have found throughout their adventures on the seas. Ariel does have a room here, so if you wanted to kick Sebastian and move Ariel in and like play the Little Mermaid story from the beginning, you could. She's got some little decor and things, her fork, but completely up to you. So that is Atlantica / King Triton's castle. Let's go check out another one of the Little Mermaid households, Prince Eric's castle and the Little Mermaid household. This household is Ariel and Eric, his castle staff, and Max. I did create Melody from the Little Mermaid 2, which I'm a big fan of, by the way, and I actually used my Eric and Ariel's genetics to do so. She's not in this game because for the most part the Disney save focuses mainly on like the very like original classic Disney films. I don't really do too many of the second films or the straight to DVD films, with the exception of some of the more modern ones like Frozen 2 and things like that. But I figured she was popular enough that people would want her, including myself possibly, so we have Miss Ariel here. She's absolutely one of my favorites that I've done for the save file so far. She's just so pretty. I was really, really happy because it's hard when you think about doing your own, like your favorite Disney character and making them. It's almost intimidating. Like, how am I even going to do her justice? Again, just to show you, like, real quick, she's in a few clubs because she is the leader of the Little Mermaid Club, has all of the main characters here. It's got Flounder, Ursula, Sebastian. So if you really wanted to, like, round up the characters super quickly, that's there. She's also a daughter of Triton, so she's in this club with all of her sisters. This is more of, like, an actual gameplay club. And then she is also in the Disney Princesses, which is a highly, highly requested club that just had to be here, obviously. And this club currently features all of the princesses that are in the save file, so you can see what we have going on based on some of the other worlds that I've done so far, but it will change over time because there will be other princesses, and I'll probably have to break that up into 2 clubs, actually. So let's take a look at Eric's castle. I was really big about making sure that this got a water-facing lot, that we put this straight into the water, that I had the iconic stairs that go down into the water. The best that I possibly could. I was surprised I was even able to put the stairs into the water that far for, like, building rules. And it's got Eric's giant room over here in this tower section. This is Eric's room. He's got this whole outdoor balcony area. They actually live in separate bedrooms in this, just per the movie, because they show Ariel's room and she has like a separate room and whatever. You can move them in together if you wanted to. I just wanted to do her bedroom. This is Grimsby's room, actually, down here. She lives, Ariel, on the top floor, because they show her on this balcony right here in the movie. So I knew where her room was. That doesn't always work out super well for me. But this is her room. She's got her own little fishbowl in here with a fish in it named Flounder. I just thought that was a good shout out to the film, obviously. Flounder is very much out of the fishbowl roaming around Sulani, but just a nice little nod. And this, like, super pink ballroom that really gets shown more in the second film. But it's here. And the iconic dining room. So excited to bring that finally to life. It was hard to piece this castle together, I won't lie. Oh, also the bathroom. When Carlotta gives her the bath in the film, and see, we got the water going and everything. Guys, this is one of my favorite builds for the save file. I'm really, really happy with how everything turned out. And we have Chef Louis here, who should probably be cooking, but loves the computer and is constantly leaving his duties. But we're going to leave this household. Beautiful, though. We love it. 10 out of 10. Okay, let's go check out something else. There's so many good ones in this world that I don't even know what to pick. But for the sake of time, I won't be doing everything. So I'll say that I'm going to be skipping Kiss the Girl Lagoon. It is a little wedding venue lagoon lot that's based after the scene from the film. Very simple, basic, kind of like, obviously wedding venue, but could be used as a park garden. What's unique about this lot is it's a lot replacement, so there is another option for a lot to put here if you don't want the Kiss the Girl Lagoon. I have another lot available called Thingamabob Grotto, and it's a museum. It's supposed to be kind of like Ariel takes her collection from under the sea and brings it to land, and it fits on that lot as well, so you can place it down instead, and I call them lot replacements. So we have a few options depending on like what your preferences are personally for doing, for playing. So that can go there if you'd like. And what else do we have for the Little Mermaid? Okay, we have to go and visit Miss Ursula. I thought I was going to skip it, but we won't. We have to see this lot because it's very unique to Sulani. You guys will see exactly why in a second here. So this is called Poor Unfortunate Lair. It is based on Ursula's home from the film. She lives in this giant dead fish cave. And I just had to recreate it. But at night it glows like this very perfect purple color. Got some hidden lava lamps and things in there to really give it everything it's supposed to give. Just to check out the inside a little bit here. I will be honest, this is not the easiest house to view from all angles, but I did my best to make it as playable as possible. Got the little cave going in here where all the hands reach out of the souls that Miss Ursula here has captured and kept. And she's got this almost alien-esque mermaid fish interior with all her little potions and things to do spells with. She is not a witch because I had to make her a mermaid. So she could have her second form and she could have that Ursula look. But ideally she'd be able to do a little bit of magic. So we represented it more in her home rather than having her be a spellcaster. I will have her transform too for you guys. We'll get her in the water over here. Because of course during the day she looks like Vanessa. Let's see. We'll have her sleep in her mermaid form. Oh, maybe she's just going to do it in her regular Vanessa form. Well, regardless. Could be something that you get to discover in the save file. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. So yeah, her everyday, like, human swimming across or walking on land form is Vanessa, and then we have actual Ursula in her mermaid form. Okay, moving on. There is one other Little Mermaid thing for Sulani. It actually goes on this lot over here that's labeled as Skull Rock as a lot replacement. It's called the Catfish Club. It is a mermaid-themed nightclub. It goes on the same lot. It doesn't come with the save by default. I wanted to do Skull Rock. You'll see why in a little while. Had to feature this in the save, but that is available as well if you'd like a little bit more Little Mermaid. Now let's move on to this neighborhood down here. And I know it seems like I'm jumping around, but it's really just based off of the films because we have to visit the Lilo and Stitch household. Highly requested. Since the early days of the save, everyone was very excited. My husband is a big Lilo and Stitch fan. This was a big deal to finally bring this house to the save and this household. It's a unique house. It's got island vibes. It has space vibes. It's got the tower. I did the version of the home that is after they have the explosion at the first film. So they have to rebuild half the house and they add this little tower towards the back. It's that version. Why is Nani so upset and wearing some outfit that I did not put her in? They're making me look bad because I think very detailed about everything regarding the save, so I don't want you to think I screwed up on their outfits. So, their household's very it's a family home, it's lived in. I went obsessively over floor plans for this place, trying to make sure that everything lined up, and I got it the best that I could. There were many different references to use, but I tried to put in as much iconic moments and iconic things as possible to make it really resemble what you probably remember from the movie. This is Nani's room. I don't know why Pleakley's in here. Jumba and Pleakley are aliens. They are kind of cool because they have alien forms and they have... Normally alien sims have an alien form and a human form, but they both just have alien forms. So no matter what disguise you do for them, if you do the altered disguise or whatever you do, they will always look like aliens. But basically what I mean is that you can see down here, no matter what you have Jumba looking like, alien or human, he will always look like this, just because that's how it's shown in the film. So I didn't want them to have like a human form, so I kind of cheated it with MCC. Gantu is also that way, Grand Councilwoman is that way, and just as a side note, I did put a pet version of Stitch for this household because that was my preference when creating them, but a lot of people wanted a actual alien version of Stitch because he's such a character with a lot of personality and a lot of people really wanted to be able to play with him on more of a level than just pets. So I have a version of him on the gallery that is not a pet form. He's an actual alien sim. So if you want to put that in instead, you can. I gotta show off the tower here. This is their bedroom, Lilo and Stitch. And also Jumba and Pleakley's room, which was Lilo's room, and then they get this bedroom once they become a part of the household. This is actually a household that has a lot of jobs that really make sense. Like, Nani works 2 jobs. She's a sales floor clerk and a lifeguard, so she works multiple jobs and is really on the go. Jumba is a scientist. Pleakley is a wildlife conservationist. Lilo's in school, obviously. I try to also throw in some extra traits for the characters, some sentiments and things like that. Sometimes the characters will have, like, let's see here for her, it'll say, made best friends with Stitch. So I put all those things into the save file so that a lot of those relationships and things are already established. Now, some other Lilo and Stitch things for the save file. Over here we have Aloha Animal Rescue. It is a vet clinic that doubles as like an animal pound. It's based after the one in the film where they adopt Stitch from. This is a restaurant called the Fakey Luau, and it's based after the place that David and Nani work at, and she kind of like references it as being a Fakey Luau. The whole idea is that it's a tourist trap sort of restaurant, so the food's actually not really that good, and kind of the menu's a little bit weird, and I think that's it for Lilo and Stitch. It's kind of just this area here. 2 others that we have, but I won't be going into too much, are my Pirates of the Caribbean lots. So this is a vacation rental. I do have a household in here that is Pirates of the Caribbean. Elizabeth Swann, William Turner, and Captain Jack Sparrow. but they're townies. Obviously, the option is that if you wanted to, you could turn this into an actual residential and have them live here. I just don't, because it doesn't really make sense per the film. And I like to do one rental per world, so this kind of fit as our rental. Then we have Tortuga Tavern, which is the pirate bar, and it's based, again, after Pirates of the Caribbean. We won't be going over there, but we will, to close out the video, take a look at my Peter Pan builds. Peter Pan is one of my absolute favorite films. I was excited to finally be bringing some Peter Pan and Neverland inspired characters and things to the save file. I'll be doing some other things regarding the Darling family at a later point in time when we do a world that's more appropriate for them. But for now, they fit, or at least this half of them fits really well into Sulani. These guys are all very young. Peter and Tinkerbell are teens, and everyone else is children. So this is a weird household, obviously no parents. This is the top floor, which is the tree, the lookout tree that you'll remember from the film. And then their house is underground. This is Peter's room. We also have Tinkerbell's room. I have other Disney fairies in the save. One other, Periwinkle, which is Tinkerbell's sister. So she has a house in Mount Komorebi, and she is also in the save file. If you see here, she knows Perry, and she also should have her on her family tree. So if you want to invite her over, she does have a sister. This is like the general living quarters for the Lost Boys. They all live in this huge room. Well, it's not very huge, with all the beds and everything in here. And yeah, that's kind of their little underground home. I'm really excited about them. Tinkerbell's a spellcaster because we don't have fairies right now, but if we do get fairies, she will be updated, as well as her sister, and I'm sure a few others. Now, you might have noticed this huge build across the way, Skull Rock. We're definitely going to take a look here. This was the build that almost never was. I talked about this extensively in my build video for it, so if you want to hear about it a little bit more, definitely check out the actual just speed build for Skull Rock. But I spent days trying to get this rock to work and look good and be a skull shape and be recognizable, and it just almost never happened. It was a nightmare to figure this out, but I'm so glad that I did, because it's truly like something that's just very special for the save file. It's a little lagoon. We've got lots of crocodiles in here. We've got ship pieces. And the idea originally was to have the nightclub be in the skull, which I think is really what was the most difficult part about this, because I just could never get it to work. But we could put everything else underground where we have much more room to do so, and make it like everything I could ever imagine a pirate nightclub to be. So much better. This is a really, really huge nightclub that's totally decked out and themed in one of my personal favorite themes, by the way, pirates. So cool. It's got like a little lagoon downstairs too with crocodiles in it, and like a faux plank. Lots of shout outs to different pirate ideas. There is gambling in here. There are lots of barrels and grogs and all sorts of stuff. Got some bedrooms for whatever you do with those. And the pirate ship dance floor, of course. So there's that. You enter through the back, by the way, but your Sims will know. They'll start coming straight down the stairs when they get here. And also, if you download it and it looks like this, just know that it's just because the top level isn't there. So it's just a level thing to get the top part of the skull to appear. Just an FYI. Our last two lots we have over here had to have a beach for Sulani, and what better to do than Mermaid Lagoon from Peter Pan. I'm not going to be going to this lot. This is one that you can check out on your own if you'd like to. It's very small, and it's just a quick little beach area at the end of the day. We'll be going over to this household instead, which is Captain Hook and his crew at the Jolly Roger. Captain Hook and his crew are all criminals. They're all in the criminal career on varying levels. And they live on this giant pirate ship. Again, super stoked with how this turned out. I was dreading this build because I just didn't know if I was going to be able to pull it off. And it came out so much better than I could have possibly imagined. All of the crew lives on the bottom level here in this like very crammed living quarters. Kind of similar to the Lost Boys. There's a brig in here to keep an eye on any prisoners. They've got the kitchen area and things down here. The captain has his own separate bathroom and his own separate quarters. The captain's quarters is huge and totally decked out with all sorts of treasure and possessions and things that Captain Hook might like to have around. All the pirate characters that live in this household are based after the film as well. Some of them are not as well known. Obviously, you kind of like see them in the background of Peter Pan, but I've based them all off of ones that you can actually see from the film. I had to make up their names, which is always cool. I get a chance to like design my own characters instead of making a bunch of characters that are already done for me. Everybody is late for work. Everybody needs to go to work. I hope you guys enjoyed Sulani. Again, this version of the save file is only available in early access on my Patreon. So if you'd like it right now, go to my Patreon. You will have to pledge and become a patron. However, it will be available for free in a couple of weeks. So if you do not want to be a patron, no worries. You will have access to it very soon. You can also go to my gallery and download everything early right now if you would like. My gallery ID is TomilynYT to get everything, as well as the things that will be featured in the next tour video for the next world that I will be showcasing to you guys, which will be Moonwood Mill, my most recent Disney Save world. Quick little shot of that there. I've also done in the past like Forgotten Hollow, Willow Creek, Hemford on Bagley, things like that. But like I said, I'll be making a giant tour video showing everything very, very soon here in the future. And the Disney Save 2.0 will be going live to everyone the same exact day. So look forward to that in the next couple of days or week-ish here. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me know what your favorite build or household was in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the Disney Save on Patreon, you can do so by clicking the link in my description box down below or the one at the end of the video. You get early access to my Disney Save Discord. We do a lot of planning. That's kind of where everything gets decided and picked, and I get a lot of help from patrons deciding about lots and what we're going to do for the Disney Save. It's really a big collaborative effort, so if you want to be a part of that, highly recommend you become a patron on any level. And that is all I have for you guys today. I will talk to you in the next one.